Hi everyone, it's Megan from Cluttered Crafter, and today's video is an art journal process for I'm a Cool Mom's December and January art journal challenge. I will leave her link in the description below. I was originally going to do a spread in my big art journal, but I decided to play around with some of my watercolors, and as you can see, when I put some water on my watercolor paper, it just curled right up. I'm after using this watercolor paper before, and I've never had a problem with it, so I'm not sure if a few of the pages were like a bad batch or something. I don't really know. For the challenge, the colors you had to use were blue, turquoise, and pink. And I didn't have a turquoise color in this palette, and I searched through my other watercolors and I couldn't find a turquoise. So what I ended up doing was mixing together a light blue and a green to get some shade of turquoise. And then for the pink, I was having a lot of trouble with the hot pink you see in the palette, as it comes off really light. There's not a lot of color payoff on it, so I had to mix the magenta color with it just to get some pop of color. With the art journal, or with this spread, for the turquoise, I decided to put just a few little pops of color of it here and there, and not like the main focal point. I wanted the blue and the pink to be the two main colors. I didn't have any rhyme or reason for how I was putting the colors down. I just slapped the colors and moved them around with the paintbrush and just let them mix together and let the water make them mix together as well. And I didn't have a palette close to me to mix the blue and green, so I used the top of my watercolor palette, and I ended up actually breaking it off by mistake. One of the hinges broke off on it, but it still closes, but I might have to put a rubber band on it. So that's me there mixing up the two colors, and as you can see, I only place it in a few areas just to break up the blue and pink. In a minute, I take a napkin or a paper towel and dab off some of the excess water and the color that was pooling up around the edges and in a few different areas. For this spread, I decided to go with a little scripty quote on the bottom, which you'll see me do in a minute, and then I tried to draw a set of eyes. And what I just done that time is I spritzed my hand with some water and I flicked it onto the page just to lift up the color. And then I also took a clean paintbrush to get more controlled splotches on it where I wanted to lift up some color. And that's the set of eyes that I'm going to try to recreate in this. And I'm using a peel off China marker. I have no idea where it came from. It came in a box of stuff that my grandmother sent down to me from old craft stuff that she had. And if I had it back, I would have just used all watercolor paint for this, because the watercolor paper is a little on the rough side, that this pencil or the marker didn't really blend that great. But in my wreck this journal, because the paper was smoother, it blended perfectly like how I wanted it to. I wasn't really thinking about the texture of the paper. And then I tried to blend it with water, and you'll see me do that now in a minute. And that didn't really work out either. So then I tried blending it with my finger just to see if like the warmth of my finger would work, but that didn't work either, and it ended up tearing the paper a little bit, so I just stopped. And I'm just darkening up a few of the areas. And now what you see me doing is lifting up some of the color with a clean paintbrush, and I'm just darkening the eyebrows. I can never get the eyes or the eyebrows to be the same. It's always a little different on each side. And in a minute I'm going to do some black splatters with my paintbrush here. Oh no, this comes after the black tears. I forgot about this. All I did was put a line of black down with my watercolor, and then I just cleaned off my paintbrush and just have loaded it with just water on it to make it roll down the page and spread out a little bit more. And then I just add some more black to it, so it wasn't just like a single tear on each eye. And then after this is when I do the black splatters. And I had actually forgot about the quote I was gonna write when I was doing a splatter, so I just wipe up the bit of the excess color, make it dry faster so I can write the quote. And I just mixed in or blended in a little bit of gray in the eyes, just to make the black blend a little bit more. The quote that I'm using I found on Pinterest, and it says, part of her mystery is how she is calm in the storm and anxious in the quiet. I can't remember who it's by, like J.R. Sturm or something like that. And then after I write the quote, I do some more black splatters on it to bring it out a little bit more. And I didn't want my quote or my writing to be like neat and bold. I like the broken up, messy, scripty font, and I didn't put a lot of pressure on my marker, so it looks like my marker was actually running out of ink, but it wasn't. And I did try to add some white splatters to the page, but since it's not good quality paint or watercolor, it didn't really show up. But that's the end of the layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Happy crafting.